And welcome to Wednesday Wellness on Marisa's Total Wellbeing. I am Marisa Maggio Harrelson, and I'm delighted you're here with me. I have the most beautiful family that I've gotten to know over the years, Anna and Lauren Merrill from Taylor, Arizona, and their beautiful children, and Dr. Amy Leverant, who is an eye surgeon and ophthalmologist at Phoenix Children's Hospital. Many of you know how passionate I am about health and well-being. Obviously, I have this page. I teach yoga and meditation, and I teach Nutrigenomics. I help educate people, and I have for the last 8.5 years, how to activate their bodies, how to upregulate their cells so that the body performs amazing or better than what was normal or what age does to us. So I just want to share, because this family is absolutely near and dear to my family's heart. And I've watched over the years their lives transform, their children being able to do things that they weren't able to do. And I'm just going to let Anna and Lauren take it away and just introduce your family and just, what brought you to this health journey where you are today. Thank you so much for being on.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It's been really neat. So I wanted to introduce my family here. We have Kalisha, who's 14 in the back. We have little Wiggly Harrison, which I'm so grateful he's wiggly and activated now, because there was a day when our doctor, Dr. Silverman, would actually call him a blob because he was floppy and just kind of laid there and didn't have much motion. And so now he's our superhero, right, Harrison?
Oh.
Yeah. And then we have Caroline, who's 12 years old, and Miss Charlotte, who's 16. And I have 2 big boys, but they're not here right now. So anyway, I just wanted to let my husband share the beginning, because he's the one that actually kind of started us on this journey, our health journey.
Well, our story, our search for wellness kind of starts when my wife was just a young child, less than a year old. The doctors came to her mom, and said something with her legs wasn't going correctly. Something with her bones and her muscles weren't growing together right. So they suggested putting Forrest Gump braces on her. Braces that pushed her legs out and would help her bones and muscles grow together correctly. I don't think they do that anymore. They gave her the option of doing that, which would likely cause pain in her joints for the rest of her life, but she'd be able to walk. They said if you don't do it, she may not be able to walk. So of course that's an easy decision. Walking is very key in our society. So she wore those braces for about 4 years until she was 5 years old. And she did. She had that pain. She's had pain her whole life in her knees and in her hips. Through teenage, high school years, she still had lots of pain. She couldn't do certain activities. I came to find out later, I first met her, she just looked perfect. And it's not until later that she realized that, the pain that people have. And she had a lot of pain. And then she had babies, 4 babies, 4 pregnancies, and we know what that does to a woman's body. And so her pain just increased in her knees and her hips. And then we have 3 kids with this neurodegenerative disease. And so they couldn't walk. And so she was picking them up and holding them much more and longer than the average kid. So she really tore up her shoulders. So about 6 years ago, she was in lots and lots of pain in her shoulders, her hips, and her knees. And it was not good. She did her best to be happy, but it's hard to be happy when you're in that much pain, especially late at night when you're trying to go to sleep. She was taking ibuprofen every day. She was getting cortisone shots. And that's just not a good long-term strategy. And so we were always kind of on the lookout, not knowing a whole lot. We're both educators. I teach social studies. My wife's an elementary and art teacher. So we're not scientists. We had no clue about anything about this stuff. Just Western medicine is what we knew. That's why the ibuprofen and things. But then 6 years ago, we were actually on a beach vacation in California with some friends. And, sitting around talking, talked about my wife's pain. And one of them simply said, hey, I might have an activator, something that might help her pain. I don't remember a whole lot from that night, except it was really late. It was like 11:30 at night, finally get the kids in bed. After a long, exhausting day, moving these kids that aren't mobile around the beach and on and off the beach and different things. And I just remember, hearing lots of science stuff, but I just heard that this could really get to the root of the problem of my wife's pain at the cellular level. And so long story short, even though she was a very bad patient at first because she really didn't want to take it because she didn't want to get her hope up. We're teachers, money's tight always in the summertime. But eventually, after about 6 months, the doctor called to schedule her next cortisone shot, and she was able to kind of think about it and go, hey, I really don't need that cortisone shot. And her pain has just gotten better and better ever since. Not that she doesn't have it every once in a while, but it's substantially better than it was before, where, you know, it used to be just sitting there, she was aching in pains, and now it's almost non-existent, which has been a miracle, you know, for her.
I feel healthier now than when I was a teenager, and I think that's huge, to be 40 and be healthier.
You're only 29, aren't you?
You wish.
Shush.
And so, actually, right after that, our neurologist, I got to run a half marathon with him, pushing our kids in wheelchairs, and that's kind of where it started on another journey here. Is my kids have a rare neurodegenerative disease that kept them in gait trainers, and they still have a gait trainer and walkers and, you know, wheelchairs and crutches, but they are not stuck in them anymore. They're upright and they love being active. My little guy here, who's 8 years old, and he used to not be active at all, and it's just fun to have him being wiggly and all over the place. Harrison, can you say hi?
Hi.
And what has it done to activate your body to eat healthy and do all those things? What do you like about it? What has it helped you to do? To what?
It's helped me.
And it's really hard for him to speak. He's been learning to talk, so that's been tough. What's that big word that you told me yesterday when I was so impressed?
It helps you to do what?
What does it help you to do?
It's helped me to
Concentrate. And to me, when my little guy who even...
You guys, hearts. That was amazing.
Even, you know, just less than a year ago, he wasn't able to hardly speak. He was stuttering and, you know, becoming nonverbal because he was so frustrated with himself at 8 years old. To tell me yesterday that he's so grateful that he's able to concentrate when he activates his body and eats healthy. And
now he's singing all the time.
yes, he's singing all the time. Miss Kalisha here, what did you want to share, sweetie?
I just wanted to share that obviously NRF2 does not heal you. It does not take away everything. It just helps you get healthier. It just helps you be able to strive to be your better self.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's what's capturing so many medical professionals' attention. I love that that you shared that. Dr. Amy Leverett, you are an eye surgeon, an ophthalmologist at Phoenix Children's Hospital. You've worked with this family for several years. And, you know, what was the shift that made you really look at this and go, whoa?
Well, I think what we have to sort of define is what they're talking about when they say activation. And basically activation is the body's trying to counteract the effects of oxidative stress. And these products that we're talking about really boost our own body's healing potential. And the way they work are on multiple pathways in our bodies on a genetic and chromosomal basis. So basically, these products, these naturally occurring compounds, are going into our cells, and they are activating our own genome, our own DNA, to produce enzymes, to activate pathways that produce enzymes that counteract the oxidative stress and the free radical formation. That's a natural process of aging, but it also, when it's not counteracted, it leads to a lot of different disease processes. And so these kids, these amazing kids, have shown me something that I had never seen before. And we're not quite certain completely the basis of their disease process, but we do think it's a mitochondrial based process. It's very much like cerebral palsy in that it affects the muscles and the nerve connections to those muscles. So the specific pathway likely is the mitochondrial pathway. And so the mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells, and it's very, very important to have active, healthy mitochondria. Our body needs constant power to run, and that's what these little structures do. Well, so these mitochondria allow us to our cells to function, for us to breathe, for our heart to beat, for our immune function. They're essential for life, basically. So in all of us, but also in certain disease states, these mitochondria get sick and they dysfunction and they die off and they crowd the cell with all their byproducts, so the cell can't function, leads to cell death and worsening disease. So we need to activate our bodies to get rid of the diseased mitochondria and also activate mitochondrial production. So a couple of these pathways are activated with these products that just do that very thing. So what I've seen is a pretty remarkable improvement in their ability to talk, to walk. I think what is going on is the neurons are firing just that much faster because they're that much more healthy. And so I've been able to witness some pretty nice improvement over time on these products, these very safe but naturally occurring products.
And the science behind it is pretty exciting,
Very compelling.
and just really the direction of, I love that, your conventional medicine, which we totally need, but then there's this whole holistic side, the Eastern medicine, and converging together is so important, and that you see that because typically in conventional medicine, there's not very much education about this at all.
That's right.
So thank you for, just witnessing what you're witnessing. And I had to just share it. Wellness care is more important today than ever before. And really just optimizing our cells, is cellular upregulation to help the body perform even better. And it's like we eat healthy. We can eat, broccoli is very healthy for us. We'll activate the pathway we're talking about to help reduce oxidative stress, but you'd have to eat like 60 bushels in a day, right, to do what one of these does. So, Anna, anything else you want to add, or one of your children? I know we're running out of some time this morning, but if you would like to say something, that would be wonderful.
Yes, Miss Caroline, show us what happened to you this weekend. She was kind of sad and down that what did you do to your wrist, honey?
I was playing soccer.
She was playing soccer, and what's so great about that, and she broke her arm playing soccer, and it's really sad and devastating, but the great part about that is a lot of the time in the past she'd have to be on the sidelines just watching, sitting in her wheelchair, or at recess sitting in her gait trainer while watching the other kids play. So to get to be a part of other people and getting to play and getting to have fun and getting that opportunity to actually get hurt because she's active. I know that sounds terrible to say, but when we went to the doctor yesterday, he was just so pleased, saying, I love when I have patients come in because they get hurt because they're active. And so the fact that she didn't come in a wheelchair, having circulation problems or overweight problems because she's stuck in a wheelchair, she's activating her body to work at its best. And wow. that's huge for us. And I know I don't understand, like my husband said, at a scientific level, but we see what's happening on the outside with her family, with her children. And I don't know if Charlotte wants to say anything. She's actually our little motivational speaker. She's comfortable. She's confident. She's okay that she has a disability and a disease, and she wants to bring awareness to the world. And she says it's okay to get up when you fall down.
Faith and fear cannot coexist in our hearts at the same time, says Anderson. So I choose faith. To me, that means let your faith be bigger than your fear. Each of us have fears that we keep inside ourselves, afraid to share them or to try new things. Keeping hidden feelings and fears inside can hurt us. Afraid to try or try new things. I get afraid to try new things because of my cerebral palsy. My muscles make it hard for my body to work right. Faith to me means to overcome those fears, to not let them control us, and be who we want to be. faith to me means learning to walk and talk. When I was a little girl, doctors told me that I would never talk, walk, or even get married, but I can't now wait to be a mother someday. It may look different to others, just like my walking and talking is different. When I was almost 8 years old, I made the faithful decision that I was going to walk someday. It has taken lots of practice, tears, falls, and faith, but I'm learning how to walk. Last year, I told my parents that I want to hike Havasu Pie in Arizona too. I practice walking 3 miles every day with my crutches and with my mom, and activating my body. And you know what? I did it. I hiked over 13 miles. My dad only carried me for a mile on his back. Because of my faith, I got to enjoy the beautiful waterfalls in nature. The sands and the cliffs were the hardest parts. It's time to see whatever we can do to test the limits and break through the rules for us. We are free. We can do and be whatever we want to be. With my faith, I can do hard things, and so can you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. You
That's
all,
being activated, right?
so beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have inspired so many people out there. And if you guys are inspired out there and you'd like to talk with the Merrills or even Dr. Leverett, please let me know. Happy to, drop something in the comments or whatever. But I'll never stop sharing what I know about, ever. Thank you so much, you guys, for being on today. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Love you, family.
Thank you for both of you.
I can't wait to see you again in person. Look forward to that.
I know, me too.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.